where crimes are baked in every show, mysteries rise and truth unfolding. Ready, set, it's time to go. We sing it's time to go. Listening clues, battering news, mixing stories, solving the lies. In this kitchen, secrets are broken with a spark in our eyes. In the broken baker's kitchen, the secrets crumble like sunrise. We'll sift through clues to find the news with a spark in our eyes. The broken arrives. Broken arrives. Welcome to the Broken Baker. Get ready. Let's go.
I'm Jimmy. How y'all doing?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what, if any, you might be. And yes, it just got pushed back another 15 minutes. So I'm gonna ramble for 15 minutes. Thank you, Kathy M, for becoming a member. And no cameras will be available until the opening statement is what they are saying. So it's a little bit, it's been pushed, delayed, and pushed all day long. That's 3:30 your time. I'll catch the replay. Have a great life. Well, it's even later now. It's only 3 what is it now? It's 9:30 my time. Yay. Gabby, you're all more than welcome. And thanks for the invite, even though I didn't show up. I see they rely on insanity defense. Interesting. More interesting that they don't have those experts that they claimed they would have to do the insanity defense, because they didn't keep their timeline. So they only have what the state already had gotten from the people who have interviewed her. It's going to be interesting. Thank you, Cynthia. Yeah, they said that, but now it's changed till I just saw it was changed till 1:45. It's like you never left. Yeah, it feels like we're together forever. And Panella. Hey, Snevels. Is Flick. Star said. Hello. And DK Cribble. Venus Victor. And Danny T. Hola. Hey, Show Life. Bob Bergman. I am great. A little tired. DBBDB. Hello. The proposed jury instructions are discursive. I don't want to do the jury instructions because jury instructions are absolutely bonkers, stupid lawyer talk. In reality, they should be told, this is the law. They shouldn't have, all of you remember that you are blah, blah, blah. So, but it's funny that jury instructions are out this early. Do they think it's going to be a super short trial? It seems like it if they already have the proposed jury instructions. But again, the biggest problem in the American court system is it's full of lawyers. They make these jury instructions that's absolutely insane to listen to and read through. But thank you, Jess. But I don't give 2 cents about all these jury instructions. In reality, they should just tell you this is the law we claim she broke, and This is why we think you should find her guilty. All of this, you must and you could and you should. It's a waste of time. Escabidi. Did true crime break the baker? No one breaks the baker, other than my back. Yo. Oh, you have floods in Austria now? Oh, that's not good. I heard that they had snow in Italy last week. That's a little bit early. It's been so long. Yeah, Becca. So good to have you back. Sammy spills the tea. Hey, heading home from work, going to listen on my 45-minute drive. Well, if we can get ready anytime soon. For anyone wondering, Birmingham have equalized against Wrexham 1-1. Her attorneys changed her outfit after all the bad press. I wonder what she'll be wearing today. Yeah, I don't know if she's going to be dressed like a mix between the Children of the Corn and a Catholic schoolgirl. Hey, Mom of 10. And Miss Holly Mack. So good to see you. And Helen from Holland. Can't wait to see the number of objection. The pros is going to have a heyday with the defense big time. I can just see it coming. We were just, I've been in on the Discord live chat. You should all join. We had a wonderful conversation. And me and Tiania was talking about, are they trying to throw this case on ineffective counsel or something with missing every deadline they could? Dennis the Menace. Nicaragua, Ontario, Canada. Oh, hello, Dennis. Don't be a menace. And the ginger with a soul. Yo. Sue, why weren't you in live chat? We needed someone to speak like a sailor. Hey, Watcher. This is all kind of messed up to me. I have a son that's 14. She needs decades of therapy. I hope for her sake she will get some kind of treatment as a part of her sentencing. Yes. Hey, Liselle. How are South Africa this evening? Oh, yeah, that's bad. Well, if it's been an early snowfall and it melts, yeah, that should be flooding. Hey, Carla. And Gina. The first two pages of the state's proposed instruction, one is just the charges laid out. Yeah, but again, why is this making an odd sound all the time? I just hate your instructions. That's why I don't want to read them. Because I think it's a waste of time. It's all of these formalities that they need to put in there because lawyers got together in a room and started writing. And when lawyers start writing, everything goes to hell. Yeah, Children of the Crown. Yeah. Dutch boy hair. I hope they do something about that. No, it was her hairstyle before she got before she did it. So I think she likes it. Hey, Cheesehead. And KDP and DC. So good to see you. Yeah, and you're finally able to catch a live. Niagara. Everyone is always yelling at me. Maybe you should start spelling things the way you say it. Sounds like what Lallygag did to the Karen Reed defense. Yeah, kind of. But they were yelled at every court meeting by the judge. They should have done better. Zach was in. He was in with the ladies. He found two ladies streaming, so we're not good enough anymore. So Well, my mic is plugged in all the way, but I have a crackling in my headphone. I don't know if anything is connecting there, but thank you, Jody. Maybe I just need to. Well, I just started. I don't know why I have this crackling. Hey, Nina the Canadian. Well, we do that sometimes when I have time. Hey, Irish. Hey, Adair. No, my headphones don't have a mic. It's monitors. It's not headphones. If you're a juror, do not fall for lesser included. Yeah, make them prove the charges they have, not give you nothing. You are making a weird crackling sound. I think the crackling came out of the court TV feed. Yeah, because I don't have it anymore. Let me try and put it on again. I think the crackling is court TV. It's not me. We need dad jokes, especially for this trial. Yeah, it could be. This is day one. If they're gonna start, they were supposed to have started 9 minutes ago, and then they moved it. They have been moving it back all day. They're supposed to see the jury. I do have the court feed TV up. I muted it now, so that's why you can't hear the crackling. I'll try to switch to. I think Lawn and Krim is also having it on, so I'll try and see if that is. They haven't even started yet, so we can have that one on. Yeah, I don't have that crackling in my ear anymore, so it was smart TV. We'll use the other one. No, I don't want to insert an ad break. Hope they won't have terrible sound. They've been pretty good so far, I have to say, and the judge is very clear when he speaks. Oh, send in the Kraken. But we figured that one out. The crackling was from Court TV. It wasn't from me. So no reason to yell at me anymore, Jasmine. Yeah, I like this judge as well. But I'm just thinking, if they already have the proposed jury instructions up, I don't know where you put that one. Ooh. Ooh. We do have court now, so that's something. Yes, we can take it off again. But I don't know where you put those. Oh, they were here. Proposed jury instructions. What are they saying? We can read that. Count one, the court instructs the jury that the defendant has been charged in the indictment with the crime of first degree unaliving if you find from the evidence in this case beyond a reasonable doubt on or about the 19th day of March in Rankin County, the defendant did willfully, feloniously, and without authority of law unalive as the isn't her name Smite? Is it Smiley? a human being with deliberate design to effect the death of Ashley Smiley, then you shall find the defendant guilty in charge of count 1. If the state have failed to prove any one or more of the above listed elements beyond a reasonable doubt, then you shall find the defendant not guilty as charged on count 1. Count 2, that's an attempted unaliving on the 19th of March, tried to unalive Heath Smiley. That's her stepdad. That's count 2. Count 3. On or about 19th of March, the defendant did willfully, unlawfully, and feloniously intentionally destroy, mutilate, conceal, remove, or alter physical evidence with intent to impair its use, verity, or availability in the pending criminal investigation or prospective official proceedings, then you shall find her guilty in count 3. Yeah, and they have a good yes, no. It's not like a Bev thing. And what's the other one? That's yeah, page 2 is just all the crap I don't like. But I like the first page. It's an easy to understand jury instruction. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, yes. I think they should have added Rice Krispie treats to s'mores, just like the Dutch do. I don't know why.
I'm Jimmy. How y'all doing?
Hi.
Hey, Jamie. You ready?
Yep.
No. They are claiming insanity. We haven't heard anything about why she should have possibly have done it. So far, I think the only thing we really have heard is that she talked badly about her mom to her school friends. Well, they shouldn't in cases like this, even though she's a minor. What you doing, Jamie?
Huh?
What you doing?
Nothing.
I'm trying to fill some time.
Oh, I thought you were just being funny. Nothing. Got off work early today. Just hanging out.
That's nice.
What have you been up to?
Well, I've streamed. I've been in court all day, and then I can't figure out have I streamed once or twice today. I streamed about. I covered the DA's non-press press conference in the Enrique case.
Mm-hmm.
No, and then I've been hanging over at the alternate jurors chat today. We lost Zach to her. Zach likes the ladies.
Do they enjoy his dad jokes? Is that why he's staying over there?
He was not Zach-like today.
What do you mean?
Well, he didn't demean them the first second he came in there.
He didn't demean.
Well, the first time he went over to Brandy's, he got kicked within 5 minutes.
Yeah, so he was like boring.
He was just not Zach-like.
What's up with
You know
that?
how it is. You meet a new girlfriend, and you want to hide that you're a little crazy.
He never hides anything. Right out the gate.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Believe
He's
it or
back.
not, I
See?
never said a wrong word about my parents, and we never had a fight. It's hard to believe, but true. I miss them every day. Well, I had a lot of fights with my folks, but I miss them still every day.
Mm.
Yeah, I covered the conference that was totally bruh. He was on his best behavior. Well, Jamie likes his jokes.
He gets a laugh or two.
Yeah. Zach got dull. Well, it happens to us men when we try to impress the ladies. Oh, hey, Zach. He was showing off his fish to the alternate juror today. I'm switching my house to order. I was thinking about that today, Jamie. Well, yesterday. I was in a store and they had Halloween decorations up.
I already have. I've had all my Halloween decorations since the first of the month. Y'all
was-
are behind. Get on it. And Baker, yeah, get back there. Decorate all that. It was really
Well, I
cute
had-
what you did that one time.
Thank you.
You had like the caution tape and all that. It was fun.
Well, I should have it somewhere. I can't remember where I put it, but I have it somewhere. Maybe I'll have it out in my shed. Could be. I'm comfortable wherever I am. Other people get uncomfortable. Yeah. Look who's here, Zach, your new best friend. Hey, alternate juror. Welcome, welcome. See? Zach made an impression.
Welcome.
You went fishing this morning? Did you get a 12-incher? Nonya, yeah, you missed Zach have been behaving because he met a new streamer he wants to impress.
Why you need to impress them? Like Thanksgiving.
Don't you have Thanksgiving decorations?
No.
Oh.
I just go right from Halloween into like Christmas.
Yes. Those two ladies are a hoot. I think Jamie would love them.
Yeah. I'll have to hang out over there sometime.
Well, they have fun. And it's just like us, it's a co-continental show. American and Australian.
Ooh.
So it's fancy like that.
Fancy.
Even though Australia isn't real, we don't mention that. Why is Mississippi's seal of the state just the American? Isn't that the American seal?
I don't know.
You live in America, Jamie. You should
What
know
is that
how.
supposed to be?
It's an eagle with 3 arrows and a peace brand.
It's got
leaf,
like
pe-
weeds and
No, it's to show that you're ready to fight and you're ready to bring peace.
oh, okay.
That-
You have been seated and properly sworn as the jury to hear this case. The court will now give you what I call a preliminary instruction, and I ask that you pay close attention.
He's
As
in
the
a
trial
Kim Jong-un
proceeds, I may ask you if you have followed these admonitions. You are not to discuss among yourselves any subject connected with the trial until the case has been submitted to you for deliberation. You are not to converse with anyone else on any subject connected with the trial until you are discharged as jurors in this case. You are not to permit yourselves to be exposed to outside comments or news accounts of the proceedings until you are discharged as jurors in this case. You are not to conduct any independent research about this case, the legal issues, and or the parties involved. You are not to view the place where the offense was allegedly committed. You are not to form or express any opinion on this case until it has been submitted to you for deliberation. You are not permitted to mix and mingle with the attorneys, parties, witnesses, and spectators, and you are to avoid all contacts with those persons. You are required to report to the court any communication or attempt to communicate with you on the case or any subject connected with the trial. You may not take notes during the course of the trial. There are several reasons for this. It's difficult to take notes and at the same time pay attention to what a witness is saying. Further, in a group the size of yours, certain persons would take better notes than others will, and there's a risk that jurors who do not take good notes will depend on jurors who do. The jury system depends upon all jurors paying close attention and arriving at a decision. The court believes that the jury system works better when jurors do not take notes. You will notice that we do have an official court reporter making a record of the trial. However, we will not have typewritten transcripts of this record available for your use in reaching a decision in this case. During the trial, the court may be called upon to make rulings on objections or motions made by the attorneys. You should not infer from any ruling the court makes that the court has an opinion on the merits of the case favoring one side or the other. If the court sustains an objection to a question and not allows it to be answered, you should disregard any response by the witness prior to the court's ruling, and you should not speculate on what the complete answer might have been or draw any inference from the question itself. It may be necessary for me to confer with the attorneys outside of your presence. It is impossible to predict when those circumstances might arise, but I will resolve the issues before me as quickly as possible. After this instruction, the attorneys will have an opportunity to make opening statements in which they will be able to explain the facts and issues as they see them. After all of the evidence has been presented, they will have the opportunity to address you again and make their closing or final arguments. These statements and arguments are not evidence or instructions on the law. Nevertheless, they are intended to help you understand the evidence and the applicable law, and you should give them close attention. Opening by the state.
I don't like no notes.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a case about Carly Madison Gregg. Carly Gregg has been charged with murdering her mother, Ashley Smiley, and attempting to murder her stepfather, Heath Smiley. She's also been charged with tampering with physical evidence for removing a camera and hiding it that captured a portion of the events. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear testimony throughout the next few days during this case. You'll hear about some secret life that Carly lived. You'll hear that Carly had a secret boyfriend. You'll hear that Carly had a secret iPod, that she had secret social media accounts that she was using to communicate with people on this iPod when her parents had taken her phone away. You'll hear that she was secretly cutting on her thigh using a knife. You'll hear that she secretly had burner phones her mom and stepdad didn't know about that she was using. You'll hear that she had secret weed vape pens and that she before going to school at times. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not why we're here though. We're here because of what she did on March the 19th, 2024. So that you'll hear that Carly is the daughter of Ashley Smiley, the stepdaughter of Heath Smiley, that Heath and Ashley were married sometime in 2020. You'll hear that Carly's Bible not been in her life for about a year or more, that he was a known drug user, had violent and angry tendencies. You'll hear that back in January, Carly got in trouble with her parents when they found this iPod, that they got onto her for using these secret accounts and for communicating with people. You'll hear that around the same time that she had this boyfriend they found out about, and that they asked her to break up with him, and that later they found out she was still seeing this boy. You'll hear at some point that Carly got in trouble at school. She was cheating. She'd found the answers to a test and gave them to the other students. You'll hear that all of this was happening about the same time that they found out Carly was cutting on her legs. You'll hear that as a concerned parent, what they did was they got Carly in therapy. She was being treated for anxiety and stress. You'll hear that she continued smoking those vape pens even after in therapy. So now I want to take you to the real reason we're here and what you'll hear. We're here because on March the 19th, 2024, Carly rode to school with her mother that day. Ashley was a school teacher at Northwest Rankin, taught geometry. Carly was in the 10th grade. You'll hear that morning she got in a little altercation with one of her friends, cussed him out. But what you'll hear, ladies and gentlemen, from the testimony of this friend is that he was so worried about Carly's use of smoking marijuana, and so worried about her being high, and so worried about her having these burner phones that her mom didn't know about, that he felt compelled to tell Miss Ashley Smiley that day. Ladies and gentlemen, after the incident with Carly that morning, you'll hear that he gets in touch with another friend, and he's like, hey, you got to keep her distracted so I can go tell Miss Smiley what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, this friend cared about Carly. He was like, I gotta intervene. I gotta tell her. I'm afraid of what's happening. You'll hear from him that he did in fact tell Miss Smiley. That after 4th block that day, he goes and he tells Miss Smiley, hey, Carly has got these vapes. She's got this phone. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear then that Carly Gregg rides in the car home with her mother from school to their house. They leave school sometime after 3:30. They get home a little before 4. You'll hear that when they get inside the house, it's only their 2 dogs, Ashley Smiley and Carly Gregg. Immediately, Carly goes and lets the dogs out. You'll hear testimony that Ashley then goes into Carly's room. You'll hear that while Ashley is in her room, that Carly's still outside. At some point, Ashley finds what law enforcement believe to be the 4 boxes that contain vape pens. Testimony will be that we believe she carried them from Carly's room to her bedroom, went back to search in Carly's room. The evidence will show that almost immediately upon Carly coming inside the house, that she walks straight to her parents', goes straight to her mom's side of the bed, and removes a .357 Magnum from under the mattress. We believe the testimony will be that then she concealed that .357 Magnum behind her back. As she walked through the kitchen, she peeks her head around. We believe the testimony will show that she peeks her head around the kitchen to make sure that her mom hasn't come out of her bedroom. We believe the evidence will then show that she walked with that .357 Magnum behind her back, walked into her own bedroom, and then fired 3 shots into her mother, killing her.
You're muted.
I say there's not a lot to see after 3 of those. That's a big one. Catching that with the face. But it shows quite a different picture than the one we were given beforehand, where she was good at school and she was quiet and she had just talked a little bit about her mom, but nothing else. This is a very different story than the one we were told beforehand.
We'll see.
We believe the testimony will then be
You were saying something?
No, I said we'll see. For sure.
Yeah. Well,
And the dog started barking. Sorry.
geometry were your favorite subject. Jamie liked logic. That was her favorite pastime.
That's my favorite pastime.
at that very moment after she shot and killed her mother, she then hides that gun back out of the camera, walks back into that kitchen, sits down on the stool with the gun behind her, picks up her mother's cell phone, puts her mom's passcode into the phone. We believe the testimony will be that then she texted her stepdad and said something to the effect of, "When will you be home, honey?" Testimony will be that then she waited for him to respond. "I'll be a little bit longer." She sends him a thumbs up. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe the testimony will then be that after she puts the phone back down and walks out of sight with the camera, that between the next 45 minutes or so, that the defendant reaches out to or attempts to reach out to about 5 or 6 of her friends. Some were FaceTime, some were text messages. We believe the evidence will show that during this time, she was asking them all for help, trying to get them to come over to her house. She wouldn't tell them why. We believe that one of them's going to say he even offered to call 911, and she told him no. The evidence will also be that one of these friends did in fact come over to help Carly that day. She didn't know why, but she knew that her friend needed help, and she went to that home. We believe the evidence will show that when that friend arrived at Carly's house, that Carly walked to the front door, asked her, "Are you squeamish around dead bodies?" We believe the evidence will show that then she took that friend and showed her her dead mother laying on the floor. We believe the evidence will show that after that, she says, "I put 3 in my mom, and I got 3 more waiting for my stepdad when he gets home." We believe the evidence will show that then she tells this friend, "Hey, why don't you go wait outside in the backyard? My stepdad's about to be home." This friend will testify that she does go in the backyard and she hears gunshots. And the next thing she sees is Carly coming out of the back door. We believe the testimony will be that she fell down coming out of the back door, gets up and tells her to run. And these 2 individuals, this friend and Carly, jump over the fence and run separate directions.
This is way crazier than I thought it would be.
Yeah. And this poor friend, like,
Yeah,
getting called over for that and having no idea what was going on.
but
My
I
gosh.
thought it was she just had a breakdown. That she was on cray-cray pills and then something snapped. This
This
is
is like
way worse.
planned.
Yeah, she. Oh,
You'll hear testimony that there was a 911 call. You'll hear a frantic Heath Smiley telling the dispatcher, "Oh my God, she's killed her mother. She hit me in the neck. It grazed me. She tried to kill me too. She's run off." You'll hear from law enforcement when they arrived on the scene that Carly Gregg had fled the scene. You'll hear from law enforcement that when they arrived on the scene, Ashley Smiley was very much dead in the floor in Carly's bedroom, and that they found that Heath Smiley had been shot and hit in the shoulder, through and through. You will hear from law enforcement that sometime after the day of the event, they learned that there was cameras involved, that this home had surveillance video. You'll learn that one of those videos was turned over by the living victim, Heath Smiley, and it shows Carly Gregg and her friend jumping over the fence. And then you'll learn that there was another camera in the house on March the 19th, 2024. That Carly was hiding the gun out of sight of. And you'll hear that that camera was not in the kitchen when law enforcement got there, and it was not in the kitchen where it should have been when Heath Smiley got there. It wasn't until sometime later that that camera was discovered. Ladies and gentlemen, you will hear that Ashley Smiley's cause of death, gunshot wounds to the head. Ashley Smiley's main...
I knew about the friend, but the story we heard about the friend was she was called over, something bad happened. And when she came over, she said, "You want to see an unalive person?" That's what we heard before.
I didn't hear
death.
Yeah, not that she was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to off my stepdad, so go out back." I'd be like, what the hell is happening?
Homicide. You will hear that Heath Smiley says, Carly Gregg is the one that shot at me. And on his 911 call, he said that she tried to kill him. You'll hear him say that he did not move that camera, the only other person living in the home. Ladies and gentlemen, you also hear from forensic scientists from the Mississippi Forensics Laboratory. You'll hear that both of Carly Gregg's hands tested positive, both the right and the left. You'll hear that the .357 Magnum that was used to kill her mother and shoot her stepfather, they took swabs. They took a swab of the trigger and they took a swab of the hammer. And you will hear that the DNA profile that matches those swabs belongs to Carly Gregg. Ladies and gentlemen, you will also hear that there were 2 projectiles removed from Carly Gregg's mother, Ashley Smiley. One in her brain, one in her neck. Projectiles were tested with ballistic.
It's the feet. I'm behind, so if it was just a bad hiccup, but the feet must be bad with all these breaks. It must be from the provider.
And that those projectiles matched the .357 Magnum that Heath Smiley took out of Carly Gregg's hand that day on March the 19th, 2024. And ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this trial, after you've heard the evidence, the state will stand before you and we will ask that you murder, attempted murder, and tampering with physical evidence. Thank you, Your Honor.
That's what's called short and sweet.
Yep.
How long did she go? She went less than 15 minutes. This is probably going to be a fast trial. We could be in and out before Friday. Yeah, this is going to be very hard to claim insanity because this seems premeditated with all the stuff going on beforehand. It's going to be very interesting to see, especially so badly as the defense attorneys have been doing up until now, with missing every deadline, not putting in the evidence they're supposed to do. Going to be very, very interesting. But now it's time for defense opening. Could be something very different. Well, she did it well enough to put 3 in the face of her mom, so.
It was probably, if the gun was just, GPU was under the mattress, it was probably ready to go.
Yeah, and it's not that hard if you're standing 2 feet from her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Does the defense wish to make its opening now, or do you wish to defer?
The defense will go ahead, Your Honor.
Opening statement by the defense.
Good afternoon. I know it's been a long morning for you all, so I will try to do this as briefly as possible. This is not a whodunit case. We know who took action on March 19th to bring about the death of Ashley Smiley and the injuries to Heath Smiley. However, this is a why case. Why did it happen? Why did this exceptional child with no history of violence, who was loved by her friends, her teachers, her parents, who had a good home life, who loved her mother, why did she shoot her mom? Why did she shoot at her stepfather? The state would like you to believe the answer to those questions don't matter, but we know better than that. The answers to those questions is why we're here today, and it's what you're here
No, the friend had nothing to do with it. She was just a bystander.
to do. We believe the evidence will show that there were 3 victims on March 19th: Ashley Smiley, Heath Smiley, and Carly Smiley, and Carly Gregg, that they were all 3 victims. We believe the evidence will show that Carly had been suffering from a mental illness, that Carly was not aware on March 19th that she had a mental illness. We believe the evidence will show that Carly's parents, who lived with her, were not aware that illness. We believe the evidence will show that Carly's close friends, who saw her at school every day, were not aware that Carly was suffering from a mental illness, because it's hard to look at a person and understand that they have a mental illness. It's hard to look at a person and know that they have a mental illness. That's why it's often referred to as the invisible disease. A person can exhibit symptoms of a mental illness without people necessarily knowing that they have one, or other people necessarily knowing the person has. While the events on March 19th were tragic, the events on March 19th were not intentional. The evidence will show, and the testimony will show, that Carly Gregg loved her mother. That Carly Gregg and her mother had a loving, close relationship. Carly Gregg's mom loved her. In fact, her life revolved around Carly.
The one that makes you pew pew your mom and dad. Of course, that one. The invisible
Sorry.
one.
Just
And again, as Jess said, they didn't know she was in treatment.
As parents' lives often do revolve.
Come on.
Carly very much wanted to please her mother. Carly was an exceptional student. Made a 30 on the ACT when she was 13 years old.
Is that good?
30 on ACTs. I
Yeah.
don't really know. I didn't do well at any school, so I'm not the one to ask.
Anyone but Jamie is a 30.
Anyone but me.
She was the apple of her mother and her stepfather's eye. And you will understand by the conclusion of this hearing why Carly's
They have no one because they missed their deadline, so they only have the experts that the state provided.
stepfather is standing behind her, because he knows on March 19th there were 3 victims: Ashley, Heath, and Carly.
I think the ACTs and the SATs.
The state will ask you to take your good judgment, to take your common sense, and to put it in a bucket, to put the lid on the bucket, and to toss the bucket out of this courtroom. We implore you not to do that, to retain your common sense, to retain your good judgment, and to make sure that you are listening to the evidence as it's presented, because it doesn't matter how many witnesses the state puts on.
Overall, is this young girl pew-pewed her mom in the face 3 times, and they're going for an insanity defense.
Their story
I
is
think she's
filled
about
with
to cry.
inconsistencies
That's a cry face.
because they're not telling the whole story. The evidence will not show that Carly was ever deemed dangerous by anyone. The evidence will not show that Carly ever had any desire to hurt her mother. The evidence will not show that Carly ever had any desire to hurt any person. The evidence will not show that Carly invited people over to her house to view her mom's body. What it will show is that on March 19th, a hysterical Carly called her closest friends, begging them for help, begging them to help her. The evidence will show that Carly did not recognize Heath Smiley when he got home that day. You'll hear that from him himself. The evidence will show that Carly was so terrified when Heath Smiley got home on March 19th that even after Carly left the house, Heath walked around the house with the handgun in his hand, looking for an intruder because he was convinced by Carly, by how she appeared, by how she acted, did that day, by the child he had known for years, that he was,
Come on.
that she was terrified, something.
Sorry. I'm just gonna refresh it, see if it can get all these bumps out. That's annoying.
Yeah.
For the 19th, that even after Carly left the house, Heath walked around the house with the handgun in his hand, looking for an intruder because he was convinced by Carly, by how she appeared, by how she acted, did that day, by the child he had known for years, that he was, that she was terrified, something
It just gets worse.
in that house to cause that kind
I'll try and jump on and see if Court TV has better
Oh,
better
which
feed.
one was that?
What?
I said, was that Law and Crime?
That was Lawn and Crim, yes.
this is briefly, as we implore you not to do, will not show, is that Carly had a drug problem.
Come on.
Miracle Carly called her closest friends, begging them for help, begging them to help her. The evidence will show that Carly did not recognize Heath Smiley when he got home that day. You'll hear that from him himself. The evidence will show that Carly was so terrified when Heath Smiley got home on March 19th that even after Carly left the house, Heath walked around the house with the handgun in his hand, looking for an intruder because he was convinced by Carly, by how she appeared, by how she acted, by what she did that day, by the child he had known for years, that he was seeing on that day, that she was terrified, something horrible had happened, and that there must have been someone else in that house to cause that kind of terror in Carly. What the evidence will not show is that Carly had a drug problem. What the evidence will not show is that Carly and her mother had any argument on March 19th. What the evidence will not show is that Carly had any desire to hurt her stepfather. What the evidence will not show is that Ashley Smiley was angry when she left school that day, or that Ashley Smiley was upset with Carly when she left school that day, or that after they got home on March 19th, Ashley and Carly engaged in an argument. The evidence will not show that Ashley Smiley found anything in Carly's bedroom that would have caused an argument. The evidence will not show that Carly intended to hurt anyone. The evidence will not show that Carly has not grieved her mother's loss. The evidence will not show that law enforcement did their due diligence in investigating this matter.
Hey, Christine.
The evidence will not show that Carly was abusing or misusing prescription medication. The evidence will not show that Carly had a secret life, but rather was just a teenager who had a life that her parents didn't know everything about. That's called having a teenager and being a parent. The evidence will not show that Carly had ever tried to harm another person. had ever had a desire to hurt another person. The evidence will not show that Carly is a monster, that Carly
They admitted that to begin with.
was a difficult child,
Hey, before I go,
a troubled child, or a deranged child. The evidence will not show that Carly Gregg does not deserve you to return a verdict of not guilty. Now,
that was a weird phrasing.
the evidence will show that Carly had a family history of mental illness.
I don't
In fact,
like
it
the
was
way she
well
said that.
documented. The evidence will show that Carly was concerned that something was wrong with her. She wrote journal entries about it. The evidence will show that Carly was afraid she had the same mental illness that her father had. The evidence will show that Carly's mother had worried for years about Carly having the same mental illness that her father had. The evidence will show that Carly was very emotionally tied into her mother's emotions and that Carly never wanted her mother to worry about her. The evidence will show that Carly was scared of how her mother would react to the knowledge that if Carly had the same mental illness that her father had.
Yeah, you can't just have the invisible disease and then be very, very concerned about that invisible disease. Again, it's back to the good old, you can't be a little bit pregnant. Either she was very focused on her mental problems or she didn't know she had mental problems.
Well, she clearly did. They had her in therapy. She was cutting herself.
Yeah, and
And they knew it.
Proloft, whatever it's called, isn't something you give because someone just says, it's Monday, I'm feeling down for a bit.
Mhm.
That doesn't sound like a child that doesn't love her mom. And that doesn't sound like a child who has any intention of hurting her mother. The state would like you to believe that it's normal for a child to go home from school one day with their mother, who they love, and shoot her, but nothing's wrong. It was just marijuana. Or because she was on social media and her mom didn't want her on social media.
It was those pesky tickety talks and the devil's letters.
That's what happens.
That's how every crime starts. It's TikTok and the devil's letters. Don't do TikTok, kid.
That TikTok.
But again, we ask you to retain your common sense and to retain your good judgment, because we know that just doesn't make sense. And at the end of this trial, if the state's case still leaves you feeling like their version of events just doesn't make sense, then you must return a verdict of not guilty.
State may call its first witness.
State calls Kevin Collins, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Lewis, approaching, sorry, yes.
All she can hope for is life with parole. Sorry.
Yeah, well, they can't give her without parole when she's a minor, I think Jess said.
Do they have to do what like they did in Michigan? Like a Miller hearing type thing?
Well,
Because that's what happened with that school shooter, remember? Crumbly.
whoa.
Adjust yourself up to the microphone. Yes. You understand that you're now under oath and your answers to be sworn answers under penalty of perjury? Yes. All right.
Who's this guy?
The guy who can't pass a buffet. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Miller hearing, not a Michigan thing. It may be done differently here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it might be called something different. We're just saying, like they did in Michigan with the Miller hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Cartman. Come on. What? Yeah, it's a stupid argument. It's the invisible disease, but they got her treatments because they found out she had mental problems. Again, you can't be a little bit pregnant.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. Would you please introduce yourself to the jury?
My name's Kevin Collins.
And Mr. Collins, where do you work?
I work Rankin County Sheriff's Department dispatch.
All right. And you said dispatch. Explain to us just a little bit about what dispatch is and what you do as part of your job responsibilities.
Basically, we take all the incoming calls from the county and the community, even some from the cities for.
Yeah, but there's some rules even in Mississippi that you can't sentence people under a certain age to life without parole.
For emergency situations, and we dispatch proper personnel, whether it be medical, fire, law enforcement.
And how long have you worked for Rankin County Sheriff's Office in that role?
I started in Sheriff's Department February 7th, 2022.
Okay. And before February of 2022, did you have any experience working in that role in any other for any other departments or agencies?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen about that?
I started with Hinds County Sheriff's Department in June of 2007. I worked 2 years at the city of Flowood, and then I worked Yazoo County E911, a couple of years at Mendenhall Police Department, and then the last 6 years before I came to Rankin County, I was a supervisor at the city of Florence.
And you talked about some of your job duties and responsibilities. As part of your responsibilities and duties, do you dispatch fire services?
Yes, we do fire services.
Do you dispatch police?
Yes,
EMTs?
that is done through Pafford.
Okay. Who contacts Pafford in the event that EMTs are needed?
We transfer the caller. In the perfect situation, we transfer the caller to Pafford so they can ask the proper questions.
And I understand that over the years, maybe some of the training requirements have changed, but whenever you became a dispatcher, what were the training requirements in order to become a dispatcher?
Within the first year, you had to go through a 40-hour basic certification class plus a 8-hour ride-along with each department that you dispatch, whether it be fire, law enforcement, medical. In every continuous year, you have to do 48 hours in 6 different subjects for every 3 years to recertify.
So did you do those initial requirements back whenever you started?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you ride along with those different agencies that you dispatched?
Yes, I did.
All right. And have you kept up your continuing education hours throughout the years?
Yes, sir, I have.
And who are you certified through? Who keeps up with that?
Board of Standards and Training through the state of Mississippi.
Okay. And you said you worked at Rankin County since February of 2022. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you guys work in shifts, or how does your schedule work?
We do. My shift is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and we do a 3-2 split, which is like 1 week we'll work Monday, Tuesday, and then the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then the next week we will work Wednesday and Thursday, and it just alternates the following weeks.
Okay. How many dispatchers work at a time for Rankin County?
There's 4 of us at a time on duty.
And how do you guys handle calls that come in to, say, 911?
If it's an emergency situation, then, you know, we've got this thing where we'll snap our fingers and somebody else will pick up on the call. That way one of us can get all the information we can while the other one's dispatching it out.
So is it possible that more than one person can be listening to the call at the same time?
Yes.
I want to take you back to March 19th of this year, March 19th, 2024. Were you employed as a dispatcher with Rankin County at that time?
Yes, I was.
And that was as a dispatcher?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you working that day?
Yes, I was.
Do you recall receiving a call from an individual by the name of Mr. Heath Smiley that day?
Yes, I did.
And what was the reason for Mr. Smiley calling 911?
He called because he had been shot. At first, he said he had grazed the neck. Once during the middle of the call, he then stated that his wife was also shot dead on the floor. And I continued to talk to him until deputies arrived on scene.
And do you recall the address that Mr. Smiley was calling from?
Yes, it was 214 Ashton's Way.
Okay. Is that address located in Rankin County?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Mr. Collins, how would you describe Mr. Smiley's demeanor whenever you first picked up the phone that day?
He was very distraught. At first, I thought I was speaking with a female. It wasn't until I found out his name that I knew it was a male. And then I just continued to get further information from him, what I could. He couldn't even, when I asked him the address the first time, he couldn't even tell me the address. I went off of the 9.
No, this is, I can't have CC on this. They are live streaming it. Law and Crime have it on a slight delay so the CC will work. But Law and Crime had hiccups constantly in their stream. That's why I shifted to this one.
911, which gave us, I believe,
have to go to-
215 Ashton Way. And then later on during the call, I verified with him what his address was.
Okay. And you mentioned that Mr. Smiley stated that he was grazed and that his wife was dead. Did he tell you anything else?
He also advised that his stepdaughter had shot him and that he had taken the gun from her and she ran out the back door wearing, I believe, a gray shirt and jeans and went over the back fence. I got a description from him that we could pass along to our officers, and that's about most of it, except he did also advise that she had been going through some things and was on medication trying to deal with some stuff.
Okay. When someone calls 911, are those calls recorded?
Yes, they are.
And do you know whether or not those calls are kept in the normal course of business by the Rankin County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Do you know whether your call with Mr. Smiley on March 19, 2024 was recorded?
Yes, it was.
And do you know whether or not that call was kept in the normal course and scope of business by the Rankin County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you listened to that call before?
Yes, I have.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Let me try and switch it to. Let's try and switch it to the Lawn and Crim. Maybe that's without those hiccups.
Yeah, maybe it's gotten better.
Just so we can get some CC on it. Oh, I should share this.
Mr. Collins, I handed you an item. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir. It's the disc of the recording
And how do you know that's what that is?
because I initialed and dated it.
Okay. Have you watched or listened to that call before?
Yes,
His
I have.
shirt looks
And-
brighter in this feed.
Yes, sir, they are.
Whenever you listened to that call, did it appear to be altered or edited in any way?
No, it did not.
Okay. Your Honor, at this point, we would move this disc in as State's Exhibit 1.
Any objection? No objection. Be admitted as one all purposes.
There's always been a word limit in chat. I think 200 and 220 or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Mr. Collins, you mentioned that you listened to this. Is this a complete call recording of the call with Mr. Smiley that day?
Yes, it is from beginning to end.
Okay. Your Honor, may I publish this for the jury, please?
Yes, sir.
Their southern accents aren't too bad.
No, I find it very
Yeah.
easy to understand.
I think when the judge gets really like irritated and he's talking fast, sometimes I can't really understand him.
They are moving like molasses.
What daughter tried to shoot me? Your daughter tried to shoot you? Yeah. Kill her.
He
Stay
said
on the
okay.
phone with me. Just calm down. What's your name? My name is Smiley. Okay.
He did say, "Okay, ma'am, come down."
He said, okay, ma'am, calm down. No, but like, he's not, you need to get better, like, customer service with their people. He's like, what? Your daughter tried to shoot you? Like, I was just so like, I'd be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, show a little bit.
I
of
wouldn't,
empathy.
I wouldn't have to like deal with this all day. I don't know how I'd feel either. So.
Calm down for me. Give me your name again. Heath Smiley. Heath Smiley? Yes, sir. All right, mister, what's your phone number you calling me from? Did she hit you? Yeah, I got hit in the neck a little bit. Okay, so did it graze your neck? Yes, sir. All right. And what's her name? Carly Gregg. Carly Gregg? Does she still have a gun on her? I took it from her. She ran. You took it from her and she ran? Yes, sir. She was screaming something at me I couldn't understand. I locked the door. She's outside. I don't know what's going on. Which way did she run off to? She ran into the backyard and went over a fence. Ran into the backyard and went over your fence? Yeah. What is she wearing? T-shirt, gray shirt and some jeans. Gray shirt and jeans? About how tall is she? 5'2". About 5'2"? What color hair? Brownish, just short hair. 5'2" with back door, she opened fire on me. And was just screaming. Okay, just calm down for me. We got everybody in. She what? She killed her mom. She killed her mom? Yeah, that's what I'm screaming about. Where's the mom? When I do that, she tried to kill me. Where's the mom at? Sir. 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 Okay, your address is 215, correct? 214. 214. His address is 214. Okay, sir. Where's your wife? She's dead on the floor of my stepdaughter's room. She's on the floor in your stepdaughter's room? What's your wife's name? Ashley Smiley. Ashley Smiley? go outside the house and speak to me? Okay. Okay. Now, was there any problems going on with your, is it your stepdaughter or? She's my stepdaughter. And her mom. I don't know what's going on.
It's heartbreaking to listen to, but remember, this guy actually want her free. Her stepdad has been one of the. He's been out there saying that he didn't think she should get punished for this because she was mentally ill. So even though she pew-pewed him, he still thinks it's mental illness and that she shouldn't get punished. And that says a lot about that guy.
The stepdaughter's been in therapy for a little while, trying to work out some problems in the dental, and that's distracted. Okay, and you say your wife has.
I'll do an update after this witness.
Okay, sir, I'm gonna let you speak with him, okay? Okay. Speak with him, okay?
So I can't remember who just came in and wanted the lowdown. Opening statements, pretty short, pretty sweet. The state, she was a bad person, did drugs, hated her mom. The defense, she was mentally ill, and nothing she did was her own fault. It was the drugs. No, the mental illness. This guy is the 911 operator who took the call from the dad. The dad was the one stepdad was the one we just heard. He was clipped in the shoulder after the mom had been unalived. And that stepdad, again, just to put it in perspective, has been fighting for Carly to. He's been out there saying, well, she didn't mean to do it. She's mentally ill. That says a lot about him in my book. Because he came home and saw, and again, 357s to the dome doesn't leave a pretty dome. I understand why he was in that mood.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Does the defense wish to use the projector for cross-examination?
It has no cross-examination.
All right, you may step down, sir. Are you going to use that with your next witness? Yes. Before we go to the next witness, any jurors need a restroom break? All right, so you may call us next witness.
State call, Deputy Clerk.
The judge has got crazy hair on one side of his head.
Yeah.
She just calm it down.
It looks like he's about to fight someone.
Yeah.
See, just shut up to the microphone.
Well, he looks like he just got up from a nap.
Do you understand that you're now under oath and your answers will be sworn answers of the penalty of perjury?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, you may proceed.
Good afternoon, sir. Would you please introduce yourself to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Hunter Lewis,
All right, Hunter, and where do you work?
Rankin County Sheriff's Office,
All right, and what role do you work at the sheriff's office?
patrol.
All right, and as a patrol deputy at Rankin County, what do you do on a daily basis?
I answer 911 calls and assist the public when they call for assistance.
Okay. How long have you been in law enforcement?
Mims.
9 years.
Okay. Have you worked anywhere other than Rankin County, or have you been at Rankin County all 9 years?
Yes, I worked other places.
Okay. Where else have you worked?
I worked at Hines County, Flowwood.
And where did you start? Did you start at Hines County?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of training did you go through in order to become a certified police officer?
Went to Mississippi Law Enforcement Officer Training Academy.
Okay. And approximately how long was that training?
12 weeks.
As a patrol deputy now at Rankin County, do you complete any kind of ongoing training or continuing education?
I do.
And tell us just a little bit about what kind of training you go through.
We have to do annual training yearly throughout the year.
Okay. And what kind of topics does that annual training cover?
Just different aspects of the job.
Okay. Is it related to patrol or is it investigations? Tell us just a little bit about it.
Patrol.
Okay.
This guy.
We're
Imagine having a
Just
conversation with him. It's just.
I mean, they're like,
How-
tell
how
us
should they
about
do
it,
it?
patrol. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
What
don't
do
get
you
me
do
wrong, I
other
like
than
it.
patrol? Other aspects of the job.
Yeah, other things.
I bet date night is real fun at their house.
It's so funny.
What would you like to eat? Food.
What do you got?
I want to take you back to March of this year, specifically March 19th, 2024. Were you employed as a patrol deputy at Rankin County on March 19th, 2024?
Yes, sir, I was.
All right. Do you recall receiving a call for service at 214 Ashton Way?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Is that in a subdivision or where is that?
It is.
What subdivision is that?
It's in Farmington Station, Norfolk.
Okay. Is that in Rankin County?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right. Did you respond to 214 Ashton Way?
Yes, sir, I did.
Whenever you arrived at 214 Ashton Way on March 19th, 2024, were there any other law enforcement personnel there whenever you arrived?
No, sir.
So were you the first one there?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Whenever you arrived on scene that day on March 19th at 214 Ashton Way, just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what you observed whenever you got there.
When I arrived, the door was locked, but I could hear somebody screaming and highly upset on the inside of the house.
Okay. Did you later find out who was inside the house?
Yes, sir, I did.
Who was that?
He's Smiley.
At any point, did Mr. Smiley come outside or tell us what happened next?
Yes, I knocked on the door several times, announced who it was, and then he opened the door.
Can you describe Mr. Smiley's demeanor that you personally observed?
He was hysterical, highly upset, crying.
Okay. Whenever he came out, tell us what happened next.
He fell to the ground on the porch just outside the front door once, and then I asked him where his wife was. He said that she was inside on the floor.
What information, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Deputy Lewis, what information, if any, had you been provided by dispatch?
Just advised that been 2 people shot inside the residence.
Okay, so you stated that Mr. Smiley came outside, then you spoke to him briefly. Then what happened next?
After I spoke to him, I went inside to check on the other party, and she was deceased inside the bedroom.
Okay, and then once, did you do anything to Miss Smiley whenever you encountered her inside?
I did. I initially checked for a pulse, and I couldn't feel the pulse, so I lit the towel to see what kind of see what had happened, and that's when I noticed she had been shot in the face.
Okay, you mentioned a towel. Tell us, we haven't heard that before, so tell us what are you talking about? You lifted the towel.
Whenever I entered into the bedroom, she was laying flat on her back with her arms crossed with a towel over her face.
How were her arms crossed, if you recall?
Across the top of her chest.
Okay. And did you later confirm the identity of the female inside?
I did.
And who was that?
Ashley Smiley.
Okay. After checking Miss Smiley's pulse, what did you do then?
They went back outside. Radio dispatch and asked them to have medical come on in, and went back outside to where Mr. Smiley was.
Okay. Whenever you got back outside, were there any other law enforcement officers there at that time?
There was one close.
Okay. And who was that?
Deputy Dustin Smith.
Okay. And once you returned back outside and encountered Mr. Smiley again on the front porch, what happened after that?
He told me who had shot him and what she was, and gave me a description of what she was wearing.
And who did he tell you shot him?
His stepdaughter.
And what type of, did he identify her name?
Gregg.
Okay. And what did he tell you she was wearing?
She was wearing, I can't recall exactly what he has told me.
And then after that, what did you do next with that information?
Radioed to the units that was responding.
Okay. Did Mr. Smiley ever say anything about a gun or anything like that?
He did.
Okay. Tell us about that.
He advised that the gun that was used was laying on the counter and there was one live round in the cylinder.
Did he say what type of gun it was?
357.
Okay. And then what'd you do after that, if anything?
I let the other officers know about the weapon and then had the crime scene taped up
Okay. And so how long did you stay out there that day?
until the coroner's office took possession of Miss Molly.
Okay. And after, at some point, did investigators get there? What happened with that?
When they arrived on the scene, they started taking photographs and processing the scene.
Okay. Now, Deputy Lewis, as a patrol deputy with Rankin
Thank you
County,
for stopping by.
do you wear your body worn camera?
Sure.
Yes, sir, I did.
Hi.
And tell us, when do you activate your camera?
Anytime dealing with the public.
Okay. On March 19th, 2024, whenever you
Oh, we got
responded
a
to
dead body
214
cam.
Action Way, were you wearing body worn camera that day?
Yes, sir, I was.
And did your body worn camera, in fact, did it record what happened whenever you arrived there on the scene?
Yes, sir, it did.
Do you know whether that body worn camera footage is kept by the Rankin County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, sir, it is.
Since March 19th,
Why is he eating his words at the same time he's speaking?
I think he's doing fine. Like, I think he's not nervous. This is him. I just think he's like, he does some
It's
man
just
of no words. Yeah. And then he just mumbles whatever words he does say.
yeah, it's weird. But yeah, as Matt said, maybe this is such a small time they never really seen anything like this before. So
Maybe. But he seems like he's
yeah,
steady.
he seems calm, but
He's just like exactly answering the question. No more than did your camera come on? Yes. Like,
when do you use your cam? Every time I'm in public.
when I'm in public. Yeah. Just like,
2024, have you reviewed that footage?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. Approach on.
I can speed it. Some Brady is watching football in England today.
Deputy Lewis, I handed you an object. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir, I do.
And what is that?
It's a copy of my body cam footage
How do you know that's what that is?
because I initially, after I watched it.
Okay. So you watched that and initially.
Yes, sir, I did.
All right. That the footage that you watched on there, is that a true and accurate depiction of what your body cam recorded on March 19, 2024 at 214 Ashton Way?
Yes, sir, it is.
Had that video been edited or altered in any way?
No, sir.
Your Honor, at this time we would move this in as State's Exhibit 2.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Be admitted without objection, S2.
Do we know what city this is in? City in Mississippi?
Your Honor, I would ask
It's
for-
named after our favorite guy, Brandon.
Oh, it's Brandon, Mississippi? Really?
Yeah. What?
Look at that.
Why should I lie about that?
I don't know.
That's but you asked.
And I was surprised.
Oh, we're not going to see it.
Yeah, go back inside. Sheriff's office! Sheriff's office! Hey, come on, stop. Hey, come on. Hey, where's your wife at, bud? Where's your wife at?
She's dead on the floor in that room.
She where? Sheriff's office! Hello?
Welcome, Stephen,
That's I need medical here.
in Mississippi. Yeah, at least he's not adding anything to the story. We don't know anything.
He's waiting to be asked the question.
Man, I need you to get.
What do you want for Christmas?
Hey, where's your son wearing? Hey, can you tell me what your son's wearing? Hey, I need you to talk to me. What is your son wearing?
She was in jeans and a gray t-shirt. She's got short brownish hair.
So, jeans, a gray t-shirt, short brown hair.
She ran into the backyard. I tried to follow her. She jumped the fence and ran. She shot me in the neck.
But it's okay. Does she still have the gun?
It's on the kitchen counter. I think there's one live round left in it. I opened the cylinder. I went in the back door. She tried to shoot me.
Hey, I need some gloves. Hey, he's saying that she ran towards Magnolia Place. Are you sure? He's great, but he's too soon. Hey, what's up his shirt? Magnolia Place, the gate inside of it.
She ran over the side back towards my vehicle. She might have looked around this way.
Might look back going back towards the pond right there. She does not have the phone. The phone is here at the house. He's been great, but he's too. She's waiting in the floor with the towel. It's all right. That's it.
No, he tried to shoot me. That's what he said. I'm not even sure he knows he's been hit.
Yeah.
And we don't. I heard he was pewed in the shoulder, but it sounded in the opening like it was a grazing wound. But it doesn't seem like the shock and the adrenaline has gone down enough that he knows he's been pewed. You see this sometimes. People who gets into an argument, and when the adrenaline and the stress dies down, they'll just collapse because they were actually walking dead, but didn't know it because the body is just pumping all of this into them. So yeah. Through and through, yeah, that's right. Through and through.
Oh, it was grazed the neck and a through and through on the shoulder. That's what I think it was.
Oh.
Will you take that tape right there and just go to the tree from my car to those trees? Actually, go for the mailbox. It's a 357. Does she have any kind of, what's her name? What?
Carly Gregg.
Carly Gregg? How old is she?
14. She'll be 15 next month.
Okay.
Holly, I've only done like 4 students about it.
She took the fence, he said.
Yeah, adrenaline and shock will do that to you.
She didn't go out the back door. Yes, he got one. No, we got one. She's in there. The back door is locked. She did not go out the back door. Careful, that's what he's claiming. Gray shirt, blue jeans, short brown hair. Hey, y'all do be advised, there's several firearms in the house. But the one that he's saying was used is laying on the table, but they don't need shit on it. We don't know the issue going. All right, look through. Keep going. Yeah, I got it. 9617. There was one man walking in whenever I was coming in. She's 14. Hey, buddy, listen to me, okay? I need to get some information from you. What is her name again?
Carly, C-A-R-L-Y.
C-A-R-L-Y?
Carly Madison Gregg, G-R-E-G-D.
G-R-E-G-D?
She's my stepdaughter.
All right.
Her dad lives in Starkville, and we're having all kind of problems with him. He's
Okay.
drugs.
All right. What is your name, sir?
He's Smiley.
He's Smiley? Okay. What's your wife's number? Name?
Ashley Smiley.
All right.
Have you called her? Have you called her? Call her. Your wife. I just called her number twice, and I was running in there looking for her, and then I said,
Hey, how old is Ashley? How's your wife? 40. 40?
Woof.
I need you to find Ashley Smiley. Ashley Smiley, 40 years of age, white female. Also, I got 27 for the other victims. 801 151 suspect is going to be Carly, C-A-R-L-Y, Madison Gregg. Carly Madison Gregg, G-R-E-G-G.
Well, that's pretty big city. No, that's not. Half as big as my county. Can I just say, I really hate that we doesn't see the. I don't want to see the pictures of the mom, but I hate we don't see the body cam.
I'm sure. So, yeah, so I'm just, that's her recommendation. That's why you kept asking her mom. That's your wife. And you kept asking me if you call his wife. And I was trying to. Okay, all right. This is their stepdaughter that did this. Yes. Go ahead and do what you got to do. Hey, so he's gonna, no, I mean, I'm getting information good. It's a through the shoulder. That's right now. This is him. She's Ashley Smiley, she's 40 years old, and then the one we're looking for is Carly Madison Gregg. She's 14. They've been having issues with her and the dad. So this is the stepdaughter. But if it's we need anything else from him, if it's wrong with him, I said we'll probably send somebody up there with him. Yeah.
No, I think maybe the judge has made an order that that the camera can only be pointed in two directions. I want to see those surveillance cameras from inside the house. I've seen some pictures screen grabbed off of it. Looks quite normal.
Maybe because the cops are going in and out and they don't want to have to worry about trying to blur it out or something. He didn't want him to watch this video or something.
If I leave, it's going to take care of my dogs.
So we'll take care of that, okay?
Even better than you can.
We'll take care of that, okay?
I would feel so awkward on TV right now, just like LinkedIn and sitting there.
Yeah, y'all take picture of that so y'all have y'all's information.
I'm just going to get all this information from you. I don't need that.
Okay, all right.
30.
I got Reverend going to start this one. Okay.
It was ACTs. I guess it's a difference. I don't know.
What's his name?
Burnell? Tyler Burnell?
Okay. I thought I recognized. He's ex-girl.
Yeah, Earl and Flowood, all of them. They've been everywhere. That be better?
Works for me. It's going to be using up pretty quick.
Yeah. No, I get it for now. Yeah, hey, turn around. Hey, y'all turn around real quick. You gotta take a picture. You don't.
Did you hear that, Baker?
Yeah, what?
Lawn crime is showing the body cam footage. I don't know why her TV is.
But is it still choppy over there? Yes. Well, if they're, let's get that. We're 3 minutes behind. If it's choppy, we'll yell at Jess.
She said not that she's heard in the last few minutes.
I'll still yell at Jess.
That's it for now. I didn't really get much from him because he's so, you know, all he told me is she took, huh? He's a little jacked up. Yeah. All he kept telling me was she ran out the back door, but the back door is dead. You got blood. Yeah, what's the easiest way? Maybe he probably did kind of in the heat of things, trying to keep him coming back. Did he say the wife's name was Ashley? Ashley? Yeah. Who did this? Ashley Smiley. Ashley Smiley. I just she was back there. Yeah. Hey, Tyler, the gun that's used is right there on the counter in the kitchen. No. They're still alive? Yeah. My dad's kid. Dad saw who, she's in here.
I'm doing the juvenile on the other side waiting for her.
What?
Oh, that's a little bit. Yeah, I got it.
Sweet. Figure out where the fuck she's going. Now this is cops. Hey, there's a bunch of gun cases and stuff laying right there. The closet's slim full of guns. So we know she may still have access to them. She's in there, Doug. I mean, I couldn't get another front door. He was explaining something to me about the mother, the father, because he stepped there too. Yeah.
RC.
Tell him me and Dustin's already cleared the house. Me and Dustin's already cleared the house. Me and Dustin cleared the house.
I'm talking every closet, under the bed, everything. You don't have to keep an eye on hide the damn spot.
But Dad, he said she ran out the back door.
I know. But Dad might. You never know. Look, I want to go through the house and I want to very politely. I want to look under beds. I want to look in closets, behind clothes. Let's make sure she's not in this house before we exhaust a whole lot out of it. You know how to keep an eye on it.
Me and Dustin walked through and cleared the house, but
did you look under beds?
We didn't go that far. We looked in closets and stuff like that.
Yeah, I quickly cleared it, but I didn't. Yeah, let's hit all of it. Clear. Thank you. That's mom.
That's mom.
Oh, yeah.
No, mom and dad both got it.
Mom and dad both what?
Got hit.
Okay. And dad's
got her through and through on the shoulder. He's already in the ambulance.
So it's the 14-year-old?
Yeah, the 14-year-old.
Yeah. I found that out on the way here. Yeah. It's 40 years old. Did y'all not hear Gregg? Yeah, I heard Gregg. All right. Who's that? Yeah, well, she texted.
No, very much the other guy. Who was that? The one that I was just talking to? Okay. Yeah. Exit for me on. What do you want, Madison? She's 14, so she's not gonna have anything. But there's some screens. There's some screens in here. You see, this thing right here is doing some pictures. Short now. They got her. Oh.
Yes, I believe so. Yes, this is the biggest problem by getting the feed for Lawn and Crim. They have these obnoxious clickbaity titles.
Yeah.
Deputy Lewis, I heard a call out there. They said that they got her at 17:35. Is that 5:35 p.m.?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. And what did you know about whether or not custody at that time?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What did they mean whenever they said that they took her into custody at 17:35?
They took her into custody at 5:35.
And do you know who that was that they were talking about?
Yes, sir. It was one of our interdiction units.
Okay. And who did they take into custody?
Carly Gregg.
Okay. And I think the video goes on a little bit longer, but I think your testimony was earlier that you stayed out there until the coroner showed up. Is that correct?
That is.
And what type of things were you doing until the coroner showed up?
Just help processing the scene and.
Okay. Court's indulgence. Two more brief questions, Deputy Lewis. I heard you use two, I guess in the police world, what they call 10 codes on there. And I think you said one was 10-2 and one was 10-7. Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what that means?
10-2 means okay and 10-7 means deceased.
Okay. And who were you referring to as 10-2 in the video?
He's Smiley.
And who was 10-7?
The mother, Ashley Smiley.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you intend to use the video?
No, Your Honor.
All right. If you would, Mr. Levinson, if you would, he's not going to use that. Would you move that out of the way, please? You don't have to plug it necessarily. Okay. Court. One moment, Mr. King.
Get your stuff together. Well, the house looked perfectly normal, like yeah, nothing special to see there.
Thank you. Now, Hunter, you were the first person on the scene. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is.
And I guess you had to knock on the door a few times in order to get heat to come to the door. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I think when you enter, I guess when he comes to the door, you see him and he's talking on a cell phone, correct?
Yes, sir, that is.
And at that time, he's actually talking to the 911 dispatcher, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then did you have him go out? I wasn't 100% sure when I was looking at the video. Did you have him come out or did he come out and sit down?
Well, I asked him to come out.
Okay. And so when he comes out, you notice he's been injured at that point. Or did you, I think you asked him if he was injured or you were able to ascertain that he was injured, right?
Yes.
And then you had him sit down. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is that because you're looking out for his safety? And if somebody's been injured, you don't want them walking around and,
I have
possibly.
Never heard that judges telling jurors they could ask for readbacks.
You're not supposed to.
Fainting and doing things like that. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you were having him get on or sit down, try to calm down. Because at this point, you're trying to get some information from him about what happened, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I noticed you ask him what happened. He's telling you that I guess somebody had shot him. Is that correct?
Say that again, sir.
You were asking what happened, and he said somebody had shot him. Is that correct?
I don't recall that, sir.
Okay. He didn't tell you somebody had shot him? Didn't you ask him what happened, and he said that his stepdaughter had shot him?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He's not going to answer if you don't ask the right question.
A couple times because you had asked, "What does your son look like?"
Yes and no.
And it took you a couple. You had to think to realize that it's actually a stepdaughter, not a stepson. Would that be correct?
Yes, sir.
And this is all on. I mean, this is all on video, correct? I mean, we just saw the video. This is all on video.
Yes, sir.
That's what we would call a body cam, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you have certain policy and procedures with the body cam, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I think you had said when you first got up on the stand, you were asked about why you wear a body cam or what it is, and you said any time that you have interaction with the public.
Yes, sir.
And it's for your safety, and it's also for the safety of the I guess the public, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you have certain policies that say as long as you're out there, you can't turn that body cam off, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's a Rankin County Sheriff's Department policy, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's I guess if you're wearing a body cam, you are, I guess, and you're with the Sheriff's Department, everybody follows the same procedures.
Yes, sir.
May I beg the court's indulgence?
Cool.
No further questions.
Regret.
Deputy Lewis, Mr. Campbell was just asking about body cams. Do you know whether investigators, in your personal knowledge, do you know whether investigators with the Rankin County Sheriff's Office wear body cams?
I don't know that, sir.
Okay. And the gentleman who showed up out there with the white shirt on, who was that?
Investigator Burnell.
Okay. Court's order. Nothing right here.
May this witness stand, be excused by the state?
Yes.
By the defense?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can stand down. All right, real quick.
Bye, Buzz. See you later.
Yeah. Woof. And we're gonna call it a day.
I'm gonna have the bailiff check back, take a restroom break real quick. Just so y'all know, we do our best not to go past 5:30. Okay. While you're back there, you're gonna go ahead and start talking among yourselves about a very important topic. Lunch tomorrow. Okay. You have two options. And do not sleep on the first option. Okay. The jail is serving pork chops tomorrow. Okay. And I don't mind telling you, I'm gonna eat pork chop tomorrow. Okay. If you don't want the pork chop, we have a very limited menu available from Nukes. Okay. I'm going to hand these to the bailiff when he takes you back there. Go on ahead and use the restroom, but we need to make a decision tonight about lunch tomorrow. Just for your knowledge, we're going to work through. Okay. The lawyers are on their own for food, but the court will feed y'all. Okay. So y'all going to have to start having that discussion among yourselves about tomorrow. Use this time for a restroom break. Everyone remain seated while the jury exits.
We're getting pork chops. Jailhouse pork chops. Might be really good. I don't know. I love a good pork chop.
I haven't had a pork chop in a long time.
Southern pork chops are probably better than up here, I'm sure.
Mr. Bailiff, let me know when they're done with the restroom. All right, everyone else will be in. It's 4:20. We'll be in recess till 4:30. Sam, go there and get your next witness in on front row.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're an hour behind us. Jesus. I love that he says, "Don't sleep on this option, the jailhouse pork chops."
I don't know. I could eat pork chop.
Smothered in
It's gonna
gravy.
be so late covering this trial, Jamie. You know this?
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna go to 5:30 every day, it's gonna be past midnight every time I go to bed.
Yeah.
No, she's not out on bail. She's been she's in grown-up prison, Taryn. I don't even think they had a bail hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would need to know the side dishes before I commit to a pork chop. Pork chop, potato pancakes, and applesauce. That sounds pretty
Is that
good.
what goes with it? I don't know. There's like mashed potatoes and pork chops.
I could eat some mashed potatoes too.
Because like, usually, do you put some kind of, I don't know. I've never had a Southern pork chop. That sounds really good.
Yeah. You're just doing the second shift or late afternoon shift? Well, I do all the shifts. Jamie doesn't do any. She just yells.
Yeah, I just show up.
No, it's just I'll just need to take my nap an hour later, and then the biggest problem would be then I'll have to push my dinner till. Yeah, that's the. What's the best vegan option? It's Mississippi. The vegan option is beef.
You have to like meal prep some stuff to
Yeah.
be ready for you.
And the milk in the carton tastes like the carton. Yeah, that's the good part. GLA wants the limited menu first. Yeah, can I get my my dinosaur nuggies? In the South, pork chops, mashed potatoes, gravy, and corn. Oh, that sounds good too.
Yum. Sounds amazing.
What time is it? My time right now it's 11:30. So if we go to 5:30 every day, Mississippi time, it'll be 12:30 when we end. Pork chops with cream of mushroom soup on top with scalloped potatoes and applesauce. Applesauce and cream of mushroom. That doesn't sound to me. Guess who's hung over today? Oh, it's a day ending in Y.
Aw.
Nifty. Thank you for being a member for 9 months. We could have had a kid now. Hey,
Maybe,
Marissa, thank you for being a member for 9 months. We could have had a kid now.
maybe you did.
I don't know. Maybe 2.
Mhm.
Did you all see the size of these people? Vegan is not a thing. I actually, a lot of people think that you get slimmed by eating vegan, but there's a lot of that fake meat to bind it and to give it flavor. There's so much fat in it. People don't know. It's really, really not that good for you. But I like some of it. My sister had some we made burgers of. That tasted really good. It's a weird taste. It's kind of like falafel, but I liked it. That is sad they can't get food delivered. They're getting food delivered from either prison or from, what was the restaurant's name?
I don't know, but that was what he said the limited menu was, right?
Yeah. They had the prison pork chops or a limited menu. I have a good pork chop over a steak any day. I like a good steak.
I like
We
them
did not
both.
have a kid. We had twins. Just saying.
Oh,
I can do it. Well, I can do anything. I just have to figure out my schedule. But tomorrow I'm going to IKEA.
what are you getting there?
Well, I'm looking for some shelvings for when I get this bed behind me dismantled and move my table further back so I have more shelving space to my Legos and all of my stuff. Zach, congratulations. I have 3 kids now. Well, plus the 2 I have already. Is that a picture of bagel bites in the right corner? No, this is what's called hindbær in Danish or raspberry snits. I don't know what a snitte is in English. It's a short crust pastry bottom, raspberry jam, short crust pastry, and then some glazing and some freeze-dried raspberries on top. Amazing with a cup of coffee. Recipe I think I have in my Discord. I associate pork chops with shake and bake.
That's how we did them.
Not today. When I
Not today.
from the Sarah Boom case, I might come. Nukes is like a sandwich shop. Oh, that's where they could get the extra one. Nix.
Oh.
Nukes or Nix? One of them. Oh, Pixie and I already have a 1 month old.
Ooh.
This is Jamie's new favorite case. Yeah, of course it is.
Why though, David?
Well, because we had Boss understand.
And we did have Buzz with his one-word answers. No, you're just like
So,
waiting for. He was just waiting for the guy to like
Yeah.
ask the right
exact
questions. And he's like,
questions.
"You better ask that exact question." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh."
Come on.
State's next witness.
There's a statement about the college juvenile. I'm not sure.
All right, for any media in the room, state statute prohibits you recording audio or video any juvenile. And this court's prior order was that any juveniles to be referred to in the press by initials. So, Mr. Cameraman, turn off the camera. You're done. You're good.
Oh.
You're done. You're good.
So we don't get to hear the friend.
I don't know if we get didn't he say we could get
He
audio?
said audio or video is off on any
Oh.
juvenile.
Well, then we just sit here.
God, I hate this.
Yeah. This is a great trial stream. Well, it's always a great trial stream. Jamie's on it. So Jamie will now do an interpretive dance of what she believes
No.
that witness is saying.
I will not. What do you believe the
Oh.
witness is saying, though, Baker?
I think she says something close to what the state says, that she called her over there frantic and then said, "Hey, want to see what I did to my mom?" And not as much as the defense said that she did nothing wrong and she didn't say anything. So the only thing is she going to take up the last hour, because then we can just say F it and get out of here.
I mean, possibly, because it's her friend. They're probably going to want.
If it's the friend, she's the material witness.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna get her story, and then they're probably gonna cross her and want to know what she knows about Carly as a person too, maybe.
Yeah. We did see pictures of her. This is a witness, an underage witness. That's why we don't have any audio or video. Jackson looks like a weird city. Some parts look really nice on Google Maps, and then you have a building falling apart 2 blocks from the center. So it's kind of like Detroit. If you ride the wrong way, 5 minutes from the city center, it's like downtown Fallujah. This stream brought to you by Jamie's fabulous headbands, as seen on TV. If you watch Baker on your TV.
Yeah.
Yes, I think recipe is in the Discord. I have made that. I'm having Indian for dinner, not Haitian. Well, dot of feather. Yeah, and if they have another witness, you can stream early tomorrow. It's just, if this is going to take up the last hour, there's no reason for us to just sit here and jibber jabber.
It is, because it's probably gonna be the last witness for the day.
Yeah. So let me see
I know,
if
it's
anyone
like
is.
I watched that trial in Ohio, the massacre trial, and they were allowed to opt out of video and audio if they wanted to, and it was like half the trial was no one wanted to be on camera.
Yeah, and it
So
gets
they would
really,
just put it
really
on the
boring.
ceiling, and you wouldn't know when somebody was coming on. It would just be like all day. Sometimes you get
Yeah.
one person the whole day.
That's a little annoying. The state, they called who we believe is the friend she called over there to say, "Hey, you want to see something cool?"
Mm-hmm.
And she did. But it's just it's 11:30 my time, and if this is going to eat up the last hour and we can't hear anything. I love talking about pork chops and side dishes, but I've been in court for 8 hours already today, so I wouldn't mind seeing my bed. And maybe you in it. Whoever it is. I shouldn't say stuff like that. Jamie, why am I saying stuff like that? You're supposed to be the one who makes sure I don't say stuff like that.
Nope.
Yes, you are.
I didn't even know it was going to come out of your mouth until it was too late.
Do you understand what's coming out of my mouth? That's I'm stupid. I don't know what that is.
Like that serial killer guy in New York.
I don't know. It's the same with all the people saying, "Oh, the Alderson, something." Oh, it's today. Who? I've been watching over on Crime and Coffee, her recaps of it. I don't know who it is. And whenever I say I don't know what case this is, people are looking at me like I have the pox or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. But
well, it's the same for the Idaho case. I haven't kept up on that since the very beginning.
The Idaho case?
Idaho guy that, stabbed the fork or people, college people.
Oh, that.
Brian.
Yeah, they just had a
Cole
change
Cooper.
of venue or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what's going on in that one either. And people are like, "Oh my God, did you hear?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know."
Yeah, it's not like we don't have enough to watch everywhere else. So
Usually, it's whatever is going on this channel. It's what I'm
yeah,
into.
and then we don't have to watch something else. No, I'm gonna find somewhere to. I can chuck you. Oh, he's back on again. I'll chuck you over there. He's probably gonna be a great.
I mean, I
escape.
remember looking into it, Rachel, and I think there's some fishiness going on, but hopefully, if it goes on, gets streamed, I'll watch it then. Hi, Ralphie.
Well, the problem is someone has to turn the stream off, so it can't do that. Coburger, that's the name. That sounds.
Yeah.
We have a Danish bread company that makes rye bread called Coburger. Sounds kind of like the same.
Mhm.
So that's why I know that. But Jamie, it's almost midnight. I started out in Danish court 20 to 9 this morning, so I think I have deserved not sitting here talking, hoping that within the next hour a witness comes back on. I will figure out when we start tomorrow. It'll probably be at 10 Eastern, 9:30, 10 Eastern, and then we'll go from there.
Mhm.
And I'll probably
Sounds
get 25 messages from Jess before I end the stream about what time she has snooped it to begin. It's going to be a surprise, but give him some donuts in the chat and welcome him back to streaming because he's been away for a little while on vacation. And I'll see you all back in the morning. Oh, I have to.
Oh my gosh, you guys! There's a class called Basic Grifting. Should we all learn how to be grifters together?
Hit all the buttons on the way out. That's grifting. Bye.
What exhibit are you referring to? I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor. All right. 100.
100.
Because it is 100%
100%.
correct.
So you literally built a cannon?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All
right, I'm in love.
Go back. Please do that again. Oh, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
While I'm waiting for this, did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't have cared.
You wouldn't have cared?
No.
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
No.
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
Probably did. Everybody has.
So there.
Everybody has.